sectarian agenda of the Shiite-dominated Iraqi government has been a hindrance. There have been only minimal advances in the delivery of essential services to the people of Iraq. The Pentagon Quarterly Report.
Welcome back to Inside Iraq. Today we are talking to three ordinary Iraqis about their hopes, dreams, and aspirations for Iraq. Kamran, before the break, Hussam was saying that Iraqis used to fear power and never respect law. And he is suggesting perhaps the remedy for Iraq is to respect the law and never fear power. How do you achieve that difficult, daunting goal?
I think it's quite easy. You know, the people are people all over the world. And most of the people, they would like to live peacefully without any problems. But a minority of people, they are suffering from some mental problems or psychopath in psychiatric point of view. They are disturbing the life of the whole of population.
Karim, is this the problem of a small minority that is affecting the entire nation?
I disagree. I think, with all due respect to Hussam and Kamran's opinions, but I believe at least that this is it should be a self-commitment. Respecting the law is a it's a personal responsibility. I don't believe it was all due to the threat of or fearing power prior to 2003 that things to some extent were normal. Things were not all normal, but to experience some normalcy. After all, it's a self experience. I mean, people should decide to respect the law, whether there is fear of power or not. Then comes how we respect authority, because the authority could misuse the power. Who would protect the average human being from that authority if that authority itself that represents a lawful state does not actually abide to its commitment?
This would be a great opportunity for Iraqis to examine the past and to examine the current situation and say, you know, we need to change the way we live, we need to change the way we think, and more importantly, we change the way we deal with each other.
I could understand why the answer of Karim was not surprising me, because he's staying there and we are out of Iraq, and I do hope that the time will give the chance for all the Iraqis to change their minds and trying to believe that the law should rule and nothing but the law. And we could establish our own country together with all the ethnics and religions of the Iraqi people and from all the nationalities at the same time. I mean, basically, this is the essential skills for bringing a good life to Iraqis, which we understand. I mean,
let me hear the comment from Karim. Karim, you made a comment. Go ahead.
I said, and here comes why the orchestra is so important. Orchestra meaning music, whether it's classical, Arabic, Iraqi, Persian, Indian music, a civilized manner towards dealing with each other. This is a decision. It's almost like a trust. Do you decide to trust someone, or do you feel you can trust someone? It's a very psychological, very personal approach towards the way we act and the way we deal with each other and the way we survive. I think it has to do also with the situation prior to 2003. The whole system, the political system, for a whole generation, was, I think, built on turning the political party into a whole political system. So the party became the system, the party became the government, the party became the authority, which was fine in some cases and not in other cases. What I'm trying to point out is I think the government did not work on rebuilding the whole society. I think there was an ambitious plan at some point in the 60s or the 70s to develop the whole scene, the political scene and the administrative scene and the hierarchy of the government, starting from the highest hierarchy all the way to director generals, etc.
Kamran, Karim, the way he said it, yes. You know, the symbolism of the orchestra is no accident, and that is when societies really develop and mature and achieve a great level of civilization, symphony and the appreciation of music, especially classical music, is a reflection of that development. That development has to be from the bottom upwards. Society has to grow from the base to the echelon. What Arab governments and societies in third world countries always attempted to achieve that development from the top to the bottom. How do you look at that?
We are still experiencing that.
Partially with him, you know. But if you are taking the normal people all over the world, they haven't any problems with each other. If you are taking an ordinary person from Basra, and if he is taking a cup of coffee with a man from Erbil, from my city, if you are taking also an ordinary person from Mosul or from Baghdad, they haven't any problem with each other. So I'm speaking about simple issues. I'm not speaking about, you know, education of the whole nation. If you are taking our society 100 years ago, we hadn't any problem with each other. Even nowadays, we haven't any problems with each other. I'm not, you know, comparing our society with Western society, with developed countries. At that time, we are speaking about more developed societies. But even in simple, quite primitive societies, the people, they can't live with each other in harmony without any problems.
The thing is, all Iraqis abroad, you can see them, they don't have a problem with each other, with all the different levels. I mean, here in Amman, for example, you can see Iraqi from the different ethnic groups, from different nationalities, from different religions. They don't have any problems among each other. They sit, chat, exchanging ideas and views. So it might give me, it might be a thought that the situation in Iraq, it's not because of the Iraqis themselves, it's just because of the circumstances who've been overwhelmed there and create this chaos. I mean, I do hear from time to time that those days the situation is improving, and I do hope really, heart and soul, that the situation will improve and Iraq will be safe for all Iraqis to get back, and there will be room for everybody to live and express his feelings and express his point of views without any interruption or
if that is the case, Karim Wasfi, is it possible that Iraqis are individualistic? They excel as individuals, but they can never work together as a group. And since you are the conductor of the opera or the orchestra, perhaps you can tell us that.
We're reaching Ali al-Wardi over here. No, I mean, we agree, and I agree, and I disagree at the same time. I still repeat that it is a personal approach towards the issue. I mean, this whole issue is a very relative issue. It's not that absolute. We can't really define the problem and then we reach a concept that for certain reasons we have ethnic issues and ethnic problems. We had problems all over the time. There were problems prior to 2003, but and mind you, the situation, the instability prior to the war, 13 years of sanctions. What do you expect an average Iraqi would think? How they would think? Yet Iraqis are so broad-minded, are so flexible, are so positive in dealing with issues, and they have reached a level of and maybe I wouldn't speak for Dr. Kamran, but you know, an ordinary person, as you have described us, somewhere else would be on pills, on Prozac, on probably medication after all these years of pressure and turmoil. And I'm not speaking for the last generation. I mean 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, and then the First World War, and then the Ottoman Empire, etc. This whole area is a troublesome area. So the society, the nation, had inherited so much from its history, yet it had managed to survive throughout the years. So again, it's a personal approach. I do not blame the invasion only. I do not blame the others, as many Iraqis do. I do blame partially our society for some of the problems of our own make. Some of our problems that we are capable of dealing with, of solving, of overcoming, if we reconsider our concepts and the way we conceptualize how we should be living and how we should be functioning and how we should be surviving. So I think it's a personal approach as well, and I don't point the finger at the outside effects only.
On that point of admission and self-analysis, I thank you, gentlemen. Kareem Wasfi, Director of Iraqi Orchestra, Hussam Ghazali, an Iraqi businessman living in Amman, and Dr. Kamran Rasool, a psychiatrist from Erbil. Gentlemen, thank you for being guests on Inside Iraq.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To access the show and to send us your comments, please go to aljazeera.net/English. We have reached the end of this show. Join me next week when we take another look inside Iraq. Goodbye.